Hi everyone, so this is the first of the Christmas party prep series, and it is going to be a really easy kind of soft, flattering, shimmery, smoky eye. I'm using a combination of, they're all shimmery eyeshadows actually, and quite shimmery cheek products, and it's just going to be a classic smoky eye and a nude lip. I thought we'd ease our way into it and maybe go on to, like, you know, purple smoky eye or red lips a little bit later on, but seeing as how this is the first video, I thought a classic look would be the best option to kind of ease us into the mood. So I'm going to just start by my cheeks, and I'm going to tell you what is on this side of my face too. So on the side of my face that is already made up, I've got the L'Oreal Infallible foundation on, and then I've got some bronzer, a little bit of blush, a little bit of highlighter, and obviously my eye makeup, which I'm going to demonstrate in a minute. But we're going to do face first, and I'm just going to use the MUA bronzer in shade 3 to contour my cheekbones, just to kind of give you more of that lovely defined look. And I'm just going to blend that out with a fluffy powder brush. Move my hair out of the way. So I've blended that out with a fluffy powder brush, and then I'm going to use a little bit of the number 17, what is it called? Instant Glow bronzing powder in medium, which is this one right here. Going to use a little bit of this just on the apples of my cheeks to kind of warm them up, on the forehead, and a little bit on my chin. And I'm now going to move on to my brows. So as always, I'm using the Benefits Princess Kit for my brows, but you want to make sure, especially if you're going for a stronger eye look, to make sure your brows look really neat and groomed, so you can see the difference between both my brows, which one looks better. So I'm going to come a little bit closer for you so you can see, and just brush my brows into place. And then using a matte brown shade with an angled brush, you don't have to use this particular one, but any matte brown shade will do. Make sure, even if you've got very dark brows like mine, that you use a dark brown and never a black, because that can just look so harsh and unnatural, because the oils in your brow tend to darken the colour. So just really give your brow lots of shape and definition, because it helps kind of define the eye look. Now I'm going to move on to eyes. As a base, I'm using this Benefit Cream Shadow in RSVP, just because it's a little bit of a warmer shade, so it can kind of help give you that nice glowy effect. So all over the lid, in thin layers as well. Remember that, you always want to have it in quite thin layers. Now I'm just going to sweep a pale colour all over the lid. I'm using this one by MAC, and this is Naked Lunch, but any kind of shimmery whitish shade will do. This is more of an off-white, so it's a kind of softer. But make sure you get it definitely in your inner corner, in your tear duct area. And the easiest way to do that is just start on the centre, which is where you want the most of the shimmer, and then just take what you've got left into your inner corner. So we've got that all over the lid. I'm now going to take a flat eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to use this shade right here, which again is by MAC, and this is called, I think is it Glamour Check? No. Tempting by MAC. And I'm just going to use Tempting kind of halfway across the lid. So if I just close my eyes and start packing it on. And as you can see, I'm patting it rather than spreading it, because that really helps build the colour that you want and build that kind of intensity of shade. So you can see that there. Just a rough idea, you don't have to have it blended, you don't have to have it particularly perfect yet. So once you've got that done, start to map out the overall shape. I like to have it quite winged out, but if you've got kind of very closed eyes, you might want to kind of make your eyes look rounder. I like to make my eyes look more elongated, so I kind of wing it out a little bit. But you want to just make sure you've got it packed nicely all over the lid area, like that. And now I'm going to use this shade, which is really interesting. I'm going to get it out so you can see it even better. And this is Beauty Marked by MAC. And this is a really unique shade because it looks like a shimmery purple, but it's actually black infused with purple and gold shimmer. So it's a really, really interesting colour when it catches the light, but when you apply it to the lid, it does look black. So I'm going to just apply this with a fluffy brush. And where is my brush? Here we go. I'm going to apply this to the crease. So just the crease of your eye and a little bit higher sometimes. In kind of triangular motions. But you want to really pack it in the middle of the crease. So right in the kind of outer corner, middle crease. You've got it like that. Don't worry about blending it just yet. We'll get there. And we're now going to just blend what we've done. And remember, less is more. Kind of do a little bit and blend, do a little bit and blend. That way you're not going to get stuck with an overload of product. You can just warm the edges with the tips of your finger. So we've got that laid down kind of the base, but as you can see, the intensity of this eye is not quite the same. So again, you just want to layer the majority of product on the sort of outer corner and blend. Blending is just the key with kind of most eye looks really, but especially with a smoky eye. And as you can see, you get that kind of graduation of colour, so it's a very kind of soft, sultry look. But it's beautiful. And there we go. I'm just going to add a little bit further in. So just here. Just to add that little extra bit of drama. And blend. Like that. And I'm now just going to use a little bit of liner to add that tiny bit of definition. And I'm using the Steeler liner in Murray. It's one of their smudge stick liners. You could use liquid liner for this, it would look really pretty, but I'm just going to use this because it's got a little bit of shimmer in it, and because we've gone for colours that are not, you know, classic black, that have got a bit of a twist, this is going to be really nice when it catches the light, because it's a kind of grey khaki colour. I'll swatch it here for you so you can see. But that's the kind of colour it is. It's a kind of a grey shimmery khaki colour. And I'm just going to apply this on kind of the outer third. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. It's not, that looks kind of not about that. And just wing it out ever so slightly. So that is the kind of effect you get, just slightly winged out, gives you a little bit of definition around the corners, but not too much. And for mascara, I've gone for the original party mascara in my eyes, which is L'Oreal Voluminous, because as the name suggests, it just gives you really voluminous lashes. And I would probably add a few corner lashes to this look, but I haven't got any on me right now. And you know, maybe if you're going to just an office party or something, you don't really want to have corner lashes on, but I don't know, you might. So just really get in there, get all the lashes, and then take a little bit onto your lower lash line. Just for that added little bit of definition. So that's the eyes done. Very classic, simple, smoky eye, very comfortable. party look. I think it's not a red lip, it's not anything too vampy, it's just a very classic look. But it's kind of a little bit rock and roll as well, it's not too over the top. Then for cheeks, I'm going to use a combination of 2 blushes. This first one is by Bourjois, just to add a little bit of warmth, and it is number 16. And just add that onto the apple of my cheek. And then as a highlighter, I'm going to use this blush by number 17 in Trouble, which is uber shimmery and not got much pigment, hence why it's being used as a highlighter, because it picks up the light beautifully, if you can see. And I'm going to use some of that on my Cupid's bow and just under my brow bone. I don't like a really obvious highlight with a smoky eye because I find it can look a little bit porn starish. But for the lips, we're going to go for a classic pinky nude lip. And I'm using Maybelline's Amber Rose lipstick. And MAC's Underage lip gloss. And there we go. First Christmas party look. It is a very kind of sexy, a little bit Pamela Anderson-y inspired look, but I think it's just a really kind of nice, easy one that you can kind of wear with anything. It's the kind of look that I think would look nice if you're going for a bit of an edgier outfit as well. And like I said, it's not the kind of classic red lip or shimmer eye and that kind of thing. It's just a nice, easy, pretty look. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Let me know what other kind of looks you'd like to see. Like I said, I'm going to do a very shimmery coloured eye maybe, and definitely a red Christmassy lip because I think that's just such great fun at this time of year. And maybe like a bright pink lip or something if you want something like that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think and I will see you all soon. Bye.